All right, a lot of you guys probably remember this first Licitti battery box. This thing is fantastic, has everything integrated into it. It has the MPPT charge controller, it has a 1,000-watt pure sine wave inverter, all integrated. All you have to do is drop a battery in, connect up the battery terminals, and you're off and running. But now they've introduced a new AC Battery Box Pro, which is the upgraded version of this box. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to compare the two. We're going to talk about the new features that this has, and we're going to answer some questions like, will this 280 amp hour battery kit fit in these two boxes? That's probably the biggest question that I always get from any of the videos that I've done on these Licitti battery boxes. Will this fit? We'll cover that in this video. So let's get to it. All right, so if we look on the front, we're going to see a lot of similarities. On the original, we've got your cigarette lighter, and we've got a couple of PD quick charge ports here. We've got your on-off switch here for the entire battery. We've got your multifunction display, and we can go through the different modes, and we can turn the power on and off here. Now we come to the new Battery Box Pro. You've got a similar on-off switch. We've got your PD quick charge ports, and we've got your cigarette lighter port. We've got your digital display here. We've got your on and off right here. But something we've got extra is this extra port here, and this is an extension where you actually can have a remote screen attached that gives out the same information that you're going to find here, and we'll show that in just a minute. All right, so if we look on the side here, in the original box, you've got a dedicated Anderson port, which goes to your 10 amp MPPT charge controller, and you have three 50 amp Anderson ports and a 175 amp Anderson port. We come over here to the Battery Box Pro. Again, we have a dedicated Anderson port for your 10 amp MPPT controller. We have one 50 amp Anderson port and one 175 amp Anderson port. So you're going to say, okay, well, this has less 50 amp Anderson ports than the original. And that's true. And the reason for that is because there's some additional features that take up the room inside the box. And we'll cover those in just a minute. But if we look at this, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I used this box to control my entire off-grid cabin. And what I did with this box is I had this dedicated port connected to my solar panel array, and then I used one of the 50 amp ports to go to my DC fuse box. And I custom made my own cable that would fit the 175 amp, and it just has ring terminals on the other end. And what I was doing with the other one is I would plug this into the battery box, connect this to a second battery, and it allowed me to expand the capacity from 100 amp hours to 200 amp hours. And you'd be able to do the same here. But I do want to warn, you want to match capacity. So if you've got the 280 amp hour kit installed in here, you're going to want to have an external 280 amp hour kit, because you want everything to be matched, capacity, chemistry, and everything, before you start putting them in parallel. And this will effectively put the two batteries in parallel. And I know, because I've done it. I did it at my cabin, and it works great. And I didn't use these bottom two ports, so they were just extras that were available if needed. So I can do the exact same thing with this battery box. I don't really need these extra Anderson ports. So just to put all that into perspective. Now if we come over onto the other side, in the original, you've got your fan here, and this pulls air in and then there's a fan on the back that pushes the air out. So you've got a constant flow of air going across the components, which keeps them cool. And you have your AC outlet right here. So on the Pro box, again, we've got the input fan here, the output fan on the back, but we have 2 AC outlets. I think that having an additional AC outlet in the back is a lot more valuable than having a couple of extra 50 amp Anderson ports, because I'm going to use these a lot more than I would use the Anderson ports. In fact, I didn't use them at all, even though I had them. And in addition to that, you've got this wireless charging where you just place your phone on top and it'll charge your phone for you. So that's another feature. And this is really cool. It kind of adds to the usability and portability of this unit. Now on the original, you can see that you've got these straps, which are nice and handy for carrying the unit around. With the new unit, it's an integrated handle, which is a lot nicer. It's rigid and it feels a lot more comfortable in your hand. These are functional and they do the job. This one is just a nicer, more ergonomic feature of that. Alright, so let's see if we can fit this battery kit. This is a pretty popular kit. We'll see if they can fit into these boxes. So it looks like both of these boxes are tall enough. They're wide enough. They seem to be wide enough on the outside, and long enough as well. But I've got the battery kit sitting upside down. Let's place this over it and we'll see how it does. Okay. Yeah, see, the issue with the original box is that it tapers slightly as it goes down, so it might seem like it's big enough to fit, but as you go down, it doesn't quite make it. Now you can twist it a little bit so that it's offset, and it'll go down a little bit further, but still it won't go all the way down. And you can see I'm kind of tight, even just getting it off. So it's just a little bit too big to fit in the original case. Let's try the second one. Okay, it slides down all the way without any issues, except there's one problem, and I'll show you that. If you look right down here, let me pull this up. We've got our battery posts that stick out on the front and the back. So because of that, I can't get this box, completely over the battery kit. However, if you watched my video on putting this battery kit together, you'll remember that one of these brackets is an L bracket and one of them is a flat bracket. If we swapped those brackets so that the posts come through the top, I think it'll fit in this case. And in fact, I might just do that in an upcoming video, just to see if it'll work. But yeah, it fits just fine other than that, and I think that we could swap these terminal posts and we could get it to fit. So let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in a video of seeing if I can get that 280 amp hour kit to fit in this new AC Battery Box Pro. If I get enough interest, I'll go ahead and I'll do that video. But for now, let's get this put together. I've got a nice Licitti 100 amp hour battery here, which I'll drop in, and it'll work on any battery that you've got. I've had multiple batteries in the other kits, but I might as well use this Licitti LifePo 4 100 amp hour battery in this demo. And this is what makes these kits so nice, is you literally just need to drop a battery in here, and it has these battery tie downs, so it's going to keep everything nice and secure. So let me get that in place. Okay, now we've got our battery nice and secure. So now all I need to do is connect my battery terminals, and we're up and running. So let's go ahead and get that attached. Okay, so because this has an inverter in it, if this was a live battery, we would want to take a resistor and slowly charge the capacitors in the inverter first. But since this unit is turned off, I don't have to do that, so I don't have to worry about a spark. Okay, I just want to tighten these a little bit. I don't want to over tighten them, but I want them to be snug. Okay, I'll just place the top on, and I'll route these cables so that they're out of the way. Alright, so this kit comes with an Allen wrench that is custom made for the bolts that will hold the top on for the battery box. It also comes with some tie downs, so you can tie this down to any surface, maybe a floor of a trailer or a cabin, and it also comes with the tie down straps as well, and your terminal covers for just keeping those protected. So everything you need. So I've already dropped one of the bolts in here, so I'll just go ahead and tighten that down. Okay, and I'll finish with the other 3 bolts. We'll get that nice and secure. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn the master switch on. And we'll turn our display on. Okay, wow. It gives you the temperature of the battery. That's really nice. And this tells me how many volts I've got in the battery. Looks like I need to give that a little bit of a charge. I've got 0 watts coming out of the AC port, and it's sitting at 113 volts. So everything that you need to know right here on the screen. Alright, so since my battery's a little bit low, let's go ahead and get that charged up. And if you look here, I've got this, both of these are input output Anderson ports. I'm going to use this 50 amp Anderson port to charge, and I just happen to have the Licitti 30 amp charger, and it comes standard with a 50 amp Anderson port, so I can merely connect that up and we can start charging this up. And I've already got this set to LiFePO battery at 30 amps. So we can see that the voltage is already coming up. So I'm going to let that charge, and then we'll come back as soon as it's all charged up. All right, while we're charging that, this is a perfect opportunity to see if this has pass-through charging. So can I use this while it's charging? So I've got a router here that I'll plug into the AC port, and we'll just see if this will run while it's charging. Okay, and you can see over here what the voltage is and how many watts are being drawn when I run this. All right, so you've got pass-through power. That's really a nice feature. All right, one of the nice things about these portable battery boxes is you can take it on the road and you can use it for things like charging up batteries. Now I've got a cigarette lighter adapter for my Ryobi battery charger. So I'm going to plug this in. We'll see if we can't charge a battery with it. Okay, we can see that it's on. Got a battery here. Okay, we can see that the battery charger works just fine, and I keep all of my batteries charged up. They're fully charged, so and it'll indicate that here. If this were blinking, it would be charging, but yeah, this works. The cigarette lighter works. So let's check out these PD quick charge ports. All right, I've got a couple of charge cables here. This first one I've got USB-C to USB-C, so I can use that one to test the USB-C port. So try that here, and that one's working. Let's try this one, and that one's working. Okay, so now let's try my USB-A to USB-C. That one's working. And that one's working. And you notice here that these are lit up so that you can see them at night, but you can also turn those backlights off just with that button right there, and just to conserve a little bit of energy. But I mentioned earlier that there's a third method of charging your phone. So right here you've got a wireless charger that's integrated into the top. So I should be able to just place my phone and it's now charging. So yeah, that feature works as well. Okay, the kit also comes with a couple of cables, and I've got one here that has the alligator clips. You would use that for charging up a dead battery. Now keep in mind that this is not meant for starting a dead battery or a car, but you can charge up a dead battery with it so that you can start your car from that battery. So there is a difference. And these two cables are color coded, so you know which port to plug it into, gray to gray. And then this one is black. It'll plug into the dedicated MPPT controller port, you know, and it has your clips here on the back that will plug right into a solar panel. So I happen to have a Renogy solar panel here, as you can see here, that I've got the matching cables. So let me get that set up and we'll use that. All right, I've got my Renogy solar panel set up outside. Got it plugged in here. Doesn't seem to be showing anything, but let's clip my amp meter here and let's see what we've got. Okay, it's not that sunny, but it looks like I'm pulling in about 2/3 of an amp. Let me show you here. Oh, 3/3 of an amp. So yeah, you can charge through the dedicated solar connection here. It has a 10 amp MPPT controller, and that seems to be working just fine. All right, now what I want to do is check to see if the 1000-watt inverter is actually a pure sine wave inverter or not. So don't do this at home. So I'm going to plug that in and I'm going to connect up to these probes. I have a mini pocket oscilloscope here which will show the waveform. So let's turn that on. Just put that right there. Okay, you can see that we're not detecting anything currently. Put my one probe there. I'll put my other probe right here. Okay, and you can see that that is a pure sine wave. Okay, for comparison, I've got an inverter here that is a modified sine wave. We'll connect this up and check it and see what it registers. To the output. Okay, and here you can see that that is a modified sine wave, because you have it's stepped, so it's trying to simulate a pure sine wave, but it's clipped at the top and the bottom. So that's what a modified sine wave looks like. All right, the last thing that I want to show you is this remote monitor, and what this is going to do. You've got this Cat 7 flat cable here. I'm not sure what the length is. It looks like it's at least 25 feet. But this connects up directly here through this Cat 7 port here. And this will allow you to place this, you know, anywhere inside a camper or a cabin or any other setup where maybe you've got this tucked away and you want to be able to see, you know, the battery data remotely. This will allow you to do that. So let's go ahead and connect this up. Okay, and you can see that it's showing the exact same information. All right, so we'll bring this up close. You can get a good look at the information. And again, this is mirroring, you know, what you're seeing right here. You've got the voltage capacity of the battery, or not the capacity, but the current voltage. You've got the voltage that's available on the AC port. You've got how many watts are being used on the AC port. Since I have nothing plugged in, it's currently 0. And you've got the temperature of the battery, 35 degrees centigrade or Celsius. So yeah, that's a nice feature. I really like that. All right, I also want to point out that you can use this to turn on and off the system display on both the units. And it also controls the AC output as well. So what are my final thoughts? I think that this is a fantastic DIY, really simple to use battery box. It's literally plug and play. All you have to do is drop a battery inside, connect it up, and you're good to go. So I want to thank Licitti for sending me this box to review, and I think it's fantastic. And there will be a code in the description and links to this battery if you're interested in picking one up for yourself. And if you use the code WoodHaven 50, you'll get $50 off this battery box. Whether it's the 280 amp hour battery kit, you know, you'll get $50 off. Or even the they've got some other battery boxes as well. You'll get $50 off of those as well. So use that link, go check out their website, look at their products, know that you got a 50 amp or a $50 discount code, and go get it. I think you'll really enjoy having this. That's going to do it for this video, so I'll talk to you guys later.